You're listening to the Secure Dad Podcast. Discover ways to secure your home, protect your family, and embrace your role as a protector parent. Welcome, friend. I'm Andy Murphy, the creator of the Secure Dad. This podcast serves to help families become proactive in their safety. The information I share on this podcast is for general information purposes only. My goal is to empower you to make safer decisions for yourself and your family, because our safety is our own responsibility. Today, I'm going to share with you how to protect your home's Wi-Fi network, and no, you do not have to be an IT professional to do this. I will break it down so that even, I can do it. All of that and more ahead on the Secure Dad Podcast. You know, I've been a customer of Delete Me for years. One of the things that helped me make my decision was the fact that Delete Me tells you how to opt out of people search sites for free. Yes, they show you how to do it for free. If you go to joindeleteme.com/dad, you'll see at the top DIY opt-out guides. They will walk you through how to get your information removed from sites with no strings attached. So you have the power to remove yourself. But what you'll quickly find is that it takes a lot of work. Then you have to do this for every people search site out there. And no, there is not one uniform way to opt out. And then you have to continue to monitor all of those sites. So not only will Delete Me remove your information from these sites for you, but they will also save you tons of hours of work and stress. Once you know that, signing up just makes sense. I trust Delete Me with my family's privacy. Start today at joindeleteme.com/dad and use promo code DAD to get 20% off today. I'm proud to have Delete Me as a sponsor of this podcast. Also, for those of you with young children, you might be interested in the new podcast that I've started. My son and I have created a silly podcast for kids called Farmer Brown's Dinosaur Farm. This podcast is safe and appropriate for kids. There's no hidden agenda, just stories that spark imaginations. You can listen to that podcast wherever you're listening to this one. Plus, we're on YouTube. To keep up with the podcast, like us on Facebook when you search for Farmer Brown's Dinosaur Farm. In the digital age, home Wi-Fi has become the backbone of our connected lives, giving us unprecedented convenience and access to the internet. Of course, 4G and 5G are out there, but having home Wi-Fi really helps things to run much faster than it would anywhere else. However, with the increasing prevalence of cyber threats, security for your home Wi-Fi has been more crucial. A compromised Wi-Fi network can lead to unauthorized access, data breaches, and potential privacy violations. Today we're going to talk about the importance of securing your home Wi-Fi and give you 5 simple steps to fortify your network against potential threats. To help us better understand how to protect our home Wi-Fi network, let's start with why we need to do it. Way too many people just plug in their router and go. While I understand the mantra, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, security is a little bit different. You are actually going to have to put in just a little bit of work here. The first reason you'd want to protect your home's Wi-Fi is to protect your personal data. Your home Wi-Fi network serves as a gateway to all the connected devices, including computers, smartphones, smart TVs, and all of these smart speaker-like devices. Failure to secure your network puts your personal information and sensitive data at risk of being intercepted by a malicious actor. And yes, your neighbor could be a malicious actor, especially if you live in an apartment or anywhere where there's a lot of networks to choose from. You never know who's really out there looking at your Wi-Fi network. Next, you want to prevent unauthorized access. An unsecured Wi-Fi network can attract unauthorized users, leading to reduced bandwidth, slower speeds, and even illegal activities carried out using your connection and your IP address, which are all traceable. By securing your Wi-Fi, you ensure that only authorized users can access your network. Personally, I always avoid unsecured networks, but to hackers, those are like a goldmine to them. Also, a secure network helps you to avoid malware and phishing attacks. Cybercriminals often exploit weak Wi-Fi security to deliver malware or to initiate a phishing attack. Securing your Wi-Fi can reduce the risk of falling victim to these online threats. Also, you need to protect your smart devices. I talked about them just a second ago. While you may not think about someone hacking your smart speaker, it actually does happen. Anything with a camera or a microphone is a great target for a bad guy. With the rise of smart devices like security cameras and smart thermostats, securing your Wi-Fi becomes essential to protect the entire ecosystem of the connected devices that are in your home, and you have to protect those from potential hacking attempts. They are all important. While you may not think about it, it's all one big ecosystem and it all works together. If there's a crack somewhere, it could lead to something worse. And lastly, you'll want to secure your network to keep it running smoothly. A secured Wi-Fi network can ensure optimal performance by preventing unauthorized users from hogging your bandwidth and causing congestion on the network. If half of your network bandwidth is being used by your neighbors to, stream Netflix or play Fortnite on your network, you're not going to be able to do much. So now that we know why we need to do it, let's talk about 5 easy steps to secure your home Wi-Fi. The very first thing that you need to do is change your default network names and passwords. Use a strong, unique password that includes a combination of letters, numbers, and special characters. Avoid using common phrases or easily guessable information like the address of your home. Also, avoid using your last name in your network name too. Also, don't give any information away about what type of hardware you're using, so leave the name like Netgear out of your network name. Don't let other people know what kind of software and what kind of hardware you're using. Only our friends and family need to remember the network name, so honestly it could just be something super boring. I will note that some people say to prohibit the broadcast of your network names, meaning that they won't show up when somebody searches on local Wi-Fi networks on like their laptop or their smartphone. It makes it harder to find. But the professionals that I trust say hackers can find those networks that don't have the name being broadcast, and they may actually go for those first because they think you're trying to hide something. So in that case, I would just blend into the crowd and just pick a boring network name. Next, make sure you have enabled network encryption. Ensure that your Wi-Fi network is encrypted by using WPA2 or WPA3 encrypted protocols. These protocols encrypt data transmitted over your network, making it significantly harder for unauthorized users to intercept these and decipher them. I don't know why this isn't turned on by default, but it's really super easy to do, and I suggest that you do it. By the way, if you don't know how to make any of the changes that I'm talking about, search for your router brand and model name on YouTube, and I bet you there's somebody walking you through all of this stuff. Number 3 is, of course, make sure your router firmware is up to date. You're going to frequently need to check the firmware updates for your router because manufacturers often release updates to address security vulnerabilities and enhance your overall performance. And chances are you're not following that sort of trends on social media, so you really don't know that they're there. So you just kind of want to set this up to happen automatically. Just like you update your computer or your iPhone, you're going to want to update your router. Keeping your router's firmware up to date is vital for maintaining a secure network. You may be able to download an app for your router and update it right from your phone, so that's an option worth checking out. Number 4, be sure to enable network firewalls. Most modern routers come with built-in firewalls that can add an extra layer of protection. Enable the firewall settings on your router to monitor and control incoming and outgoing traffic, safeguarding your devices from potential threats. I do understand that some programs and company remote access software can have issue with firewalls, but I would go ahead and use them and only turn them off if you absolutely have to, and then you got to remember to turn them back on. This is an absolutely great feature. And number 5 on our list of how to secure your home Wi-Fi is to enable a guest network for visitors. If your router supports it, set up a separate guest network. This network should have limited access to your primary network and should be secured with a unique password. Doing so can prevent guests from accessing sensitive data and devices on your main network. In today's world, securing your Wi-Fi network at home is not an option. It's an absolute necessity. By following these 5 easy steps, you can significantly enhance the security of your Wi-Fi and protect yourself, your data, and your devices from potential threats. Take a proactive approach. Fortify your home Wi-Fi and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing that your digital life is safe and secure. Well, that's everything that I have for the Secure Dad podcast today. Thank you, friend, for listening. Take back your privacy and personal data with help from Delete Me. Get 20% off a privacy plan when you use the code DAD at checkout. There's a link in today's show notes. If you'd like for your child to have a smartphone, but not the whole world staring back at them, you might want to consider a TrueMe phone. Click on the link in the show notes and use code SecureDad at checkout for $50 off a phone of your choice. If you'd like to know more about the Secure Dad, join me on Instagram, or what used to be called Twitter. I think it's now X. I guess that's what we call it. My username for both platforms is TheSecureDad. And of course, my site is available to you 24/7 at thesecuredad.com. I'm Andy Murphy, reminding you that our safety is our own responsibility.